to start the meeting now. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Rumoff? Here. Mr. Kress?
Here.
Dr. Hinkleman? Here. Ms. Price?
Here.
Mr. Diaz?
Here. All right, we'll move on to the hearing of the public portion. I have to read this out. To speak to items on the agenda, hearing of the public is a time provided for public participation during board meetings. Board members also welcome public input outside of board meetings. The presiding officer of the board will recognize anyone wishing to speak to an item on the agenda. How to be recognized and what to do when recognized. When it's your turn to address the board, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized by the presiding officer. State name and address board members as a group. Guidelines for public input. The Board of Education members may ask clarifying questions. The presiding officer may use his or her discretion regarding recognizing speakers more than once on the same subject. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes unless the presiding officer grants additional time. The presiding officer may rule repetitive statements out of order. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address a question or question board members individually. There's a podium over there. If you have not signed in, I ask that you sign in, please. Whoever would like to get started, by all means, take the podium.
Go ahead. Okay. Sam Huffman, Elman Road, Ludlow Falls. I think you guys know why everybody's here tonight, as you can see. Softball. I'm a supporter of Kurt Schaefer. I've been a friend of Kurt's for about 20 years. I was actually on this board when we hired Kurt 17 years ago. I coached softball with Kurt for 14 years. I was his junior high coach for 8 years. I've coached so many kids in this room and coached their parents. Ran a softball tournament they were in. You can see the softball community is a pretty strong community at Milton-Union. Hopefully everybody here doesn't speak tonight because they're all going to tell you the same thing. What a wonderful coach Kurt Schaefer has been for the last 17 years. Everything he's done, not just for this school, but the community. Kurt would help. I was also on the Milton-Union Recreation Association board for many years. And Kurt would go out of his way to help us in our softball program with all of those kids. What he did for so many of the young ladies in this community is, it's hard to calculate, it really is. Any of these kids that went on a trip with Kurt would tell you it's one of the only times they've been out of Ohio, let alone on vacation. I've been around softball for a long time. You have to appreciate Kurt Schaefer if you talk to people outside this community. Everybody knows Kurt. He runs leagues, he runs tournaments, he runs the select program that feeds Milton-Union softball. What he's done for softball in this community, it's incredible. I was actually on the school board when we got rid of the last coach. Nothing bad, he was a good guy. He couldn't take our softball level, or our softball team to the next level, and that's exactly what Kurt Schaefer did. I've lived in this community all my life. I've seen a lot of coaches come and go, especially the ones we have recently. There's very few that compare to Kurt Schaefer on how dedicated he is to his sport, to his kids, to his parents, the way he goes out of his way. It's unfortunate that one or two mistakes or poor decisions would affect not just Kurt Schaefer, but our softball community so much. I don't know if the decision is final or not. I don't know if there is any way that we can keep Kurt on as a coach. If we could, that'd be wonderful. There's other forms of punishment besides you're fired. There's many things you can do, especially taking into consideration 17 years of dedication to this community, to this school, to all of the girls that have gone through here, and boys. I didn't even mention what Kurt's done for other sports. You talk to any of them, the football coaches, the soccer coaches, the money and the fundraising that he helped them do was invaluable. I wish this board would reconsider and give Kurt another opportunity, some other sort of sanction besides just firing him. I don't know what having been in your position before, I know what you're going through. You hate walking into a board meeting and see 60, 70 people there because you know they're not there to be your friend. Everybody's here because they're Kurt's friend. They love the man. He does, they all know. I mean, I doubt anybody's going to get up and say anything negative about him. Those types of people don't show up to these meetings because they're in the vast minority. So if for some reason Kurt cannot come back, I just hope this board is deliberate and thoughtful when they decide on who the next coach is. It's not a revenue generating sport, so I know those are usually, they come last. I have faith in our athletic director, but please reconsider. And just for the record, Kurt has a travel team I told you about. He goes down to Alabama and Florida every year for national tournaments. He won the tournament this past weekend. So that's all.
So that was national, right?
Yeah, national.
Yes.
Yeah, national tournament, Florida.
Thanks, Sam. Anybody else?
My name is Braden Nevels, and I currently reside on Peters Road in Tip City. I'm here today because I believe our community has lost a lot more than just a softball coach. Kurt's been in my life because of my sister and my parents for years. It's been widely speculated and reported that Kurt Schaefer's resignation was the result of political pressure. Whether every detail of those reports is true or not, what cannot be disputed is the fact that Kurt has had an incredible impact on those of this community. The ones that he's coached, the ones that he's helped along the way, and just anyone in this community. As a baseball player through high school, middle school, we did fundraisers with Kurt. He was always there to help out. Character matters, integrity matters, and dedication matters, and Coach Schaefer embodies all three of those things. In a time when so many people ask what's in it for me, Kurt has asked, what can I do for these kids? He gave his own time, he spent his own money, he provided his own equipment, and he invested in this program because he believed the girls who wore Milton-Union across their jerseys deserved every opportunity to succeed. And he made sure that people knew that all the time. That kind of person is rare. Coaches teach much more than just a sport. They teach resilience after failure. They teach discipline when no one is watching. They teach young people how to become responsible adults. Long after the scores are forgotten, those lessons remain. You can replace a coach's title, you can post an opening and hire someone else, but you cannot simply replace someone whose character, integrity, and selfless commitment have trusted or have earned the trust and respect of an entire program. The students in this district deserve leaders who will stand behind people who have consistently demonstrated those values. Our community deserves transparency when decisions of this magnitude are made, and every volunteer, teacher, and coach deserves to know that doing the right thing and giving everything that you have to our students will be valued, not overshadowed by politics or outside pressure. Tonight, I ask each of you to reflect on the legacy you want to leave. Years from now, people won't remember every agenda item or vote of the board. They will remember whether this board stood up for fairness, integrity, and people who devoted themselves to the students, the players, and the community. Coach Schaefer has already left his legacy. The question is now, will you guys leave yours? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Morris, and I currently live in 722 in West Manchester. I no longer go to West Milton, but it is truly heartbreaking to see that the man that taught me and a bunch of other of my friends everything we know about softball was asked to resign. Kurt was one of the most dedicated coaches I've ever had, not only in softball, but every sport I've ever played in. He may have came off tough or blunt at times, but that's what coaching is supposed to be. It was never about tearing anyone down. It was about holding us to a higher standard because he knew what we were capable of. Yes, we've all had our moments with Kurt, but I honestly would not be the softball player or the person I am today without him. He taught us discipline, accountability, resilience, and how to keep going even when things were so tough we could barely stand. It's disappointing to see that constructive criticism is taken as negative sometimes and rather than being used as an opportunity to grow. The people who challenge you the most are the ones who believe in your potential the most. Growth isn't always comfortable, and neither is being coached to improve. I know he's not here, but I just wanted to say thank you, Kurt, for everything you've done for me and so many others. The impact that you made on your players goes far beyond the softball field, and that's something that nobody can take.
Hi, my name is Renee Nevels, and I live in Elida, Ohio. I am an alumni from here. I graduated in '94. I've pretty much lived in this community my whole entire life. We have 2 kids that also graduated from Milton. I'm writing to express my wholehearted support for Coach Kurt Schaefer. Since our daughter Bree began playing softball in the 5th grade, I have had the privilege of volunteering alongside Coach Schaefer. Over the years, I have helped with keeping statistics, scheduling umpires, and coordinating junior high games, which has allowed me to witness firsthand the countless hours of time and effort he has poured into his program. He has given so much of his own time to practices, games, planning, and the many behind-the-scenes responsibilities that keep everything running smoothly. Coach Schaefer has always gone above and beyond what is expected of a coach. His commitment extends far beyond practice and games. He has consistently invested his time, energy, and heart into creating opportunities for young athletes to grow. Not only as a softball player, but as a responsible, confident, and respectful individual. He has also used his own money to help support the program and make sure the players have had what they needed, which speaks volumes about the dedication and selflessness. The impact Coach Schaefer has had on the lives of so many players cannot be measured by wins and losses. He has been a mentor, a role model, and a positive influence both on and off the field. He genuinely cares about each athlete, encourages them to work hard, believe in themselves, and support one another. The respect and admiration his players have for him speak volumes about the kind of person and coach he is. Look at this room tonight. All these people are in support of Kurt. Our community has been incredibly fortunate to have someone with Coach Schaefer's passion, integrity, and dedication leading these young athletes. He is a tremendous asset to the softball program and to everyone whose lives he's ever touched. Losing a coach of this character and commitment would be a significant loss, not only for the team, but for the entire community. I respectfully ask that you carefully consider the lasting positive impact Coach Schaefer has had over the years. I ask that Coach Schaefer be reinstated as Milton-Union varsity softball coach. His dedication, leadership, and genuine care for his players deserve recognition and support for him to be on the field with his players. Thank you all.
My name is Kayla Lavender. I reside on Lexington Avenue in Troy, Ohio. I've known Kurt for over 30 years. I'm 36. He was also a coach of mine when I was at Miami East. It was sad that I had to leave and move down south. But in the meantime of me moving down south, he was still there for every phone call, for anything I needed from him. I do have a letter from another player that he coached right beside me, also coached with Lauren Brown. Her name is Jessica McFarland. I'm going to read it to you. My name is Jessica McFarland. I'm a graduate of Miami's class of 2005. I'm writing to express my strong support for Coach Kurt Schaefer, following the recent news regarding his position with the school district and athletic department. As a former student athlete who moved from out of state during my sophomore year, Coach Schaefer provided vital stability and support during a challenging transition, Beyond teaching the fundamentals of softball, he truly invested in my future, held me accountable, and helped me build self-confidence. His dedication extended far beyond the field. He provided transportation, meals when necessary, and actively advocated for all placement as a college athlete. Even 20 years after my graduation, Coach Schaefer has continued to offer guidance, recently providing a letter of recommendation for my own coaching career. The lessons I learned from him have profoundly shaped me as an athlete, a coach, and an individual. Coach Schaefer maintains high expectations because he believes deeply in the potential of his athletes. Removing him from this role represents a significant loss for the school district, athletic department, and most importantly, the student athletes. Replacing his level of dedication and impact will be a formidable task, and strongly urge you to reconsider this decision. I've been back here for 9 years now, and he gave me the opportunity to coach right next to him. And now it's been taken away. I don't agree with that, and nobody in here agrees with that either. I was going to help him coach with JV, and now I got to help him with travel ball. All of these girls deserve to have him as a coach, as he can have them turn into someone like me or Lauren or Jessica who will still speak on his behalf. So you guys are making a huge mistake if you don't reconsider. Thank you.
My name is Sophia Luciano. I reside on Haskett Road in West Milton, Ohio. I'm going into my senior year. I've been playing for Kurt since I was probably 6. He's been coaching my sisters for as long as I can remember. Even since I was young, Kurt has always pushed all of us to what he believed our potential was. Kurt believes in every single player that steps on his field, even if you've been playing softball for 10 years or if you've never touched a ball in your life. He pushed you and made you into the best player that you could be. I know girls who have never played before, played for Kurt for 3 or 4 years and became great players. Kurt believes in everybody, and I've never met someone who's as dedicated to the sport as he is. I've never met another coach in my life who is willing to pay for a girl to play travel ball just to get better because they have a passion for the sport. If someone doesn't have the money to play or someone doesn't have the money to buy equipment, he is the first person to buy that for them, pay for them to play, help them get to Alabama for their tournaments, whatever it is. Kurt has always been there. I just think that the decision to take him away from the team was not only disrespectful to him, but to us girls who have known no other coaches but him. And I just ask that you guys reconsider that.
My name is Miley Jones, and I live on Haskett Road in West Milton. As a former player for Kurt, I only have good things to say about him. I played for him all 4 years of high school and for at least 4 years on his Miami County Blaze team. He's the most supportive and knowledgeable coach I've ever played for, and he has only made all of his players better. He has put so much into this program, and he should have been praised for it. Instead, he was asked to resign. He should have been able to choose when he wanted to resign and have a party thrown for how much he has done for this school and the program. Kurt did everything and more for us girls. I don't think people realize how much time and dedication he put into the program and how much relationships that he's made with everyone in it. He is the best coach that I've ever had, and I will always be on his side and defend him. I can't ever imagine finding someone as dedicated and determined as him to coach. I have never met another coach that has contributed his own money to buy us new equipment very often so that we had the best stuff to play with. He also bought every single person on the team cakes for their birthday, every single birthday. Looking back, I wish I had more coaches like that over the years. I know a lot of parents complain, but I think it's because they aren't used to coaches being so stern and blunt. He was a tough coach and wanted a lot from us over the years, but isn't that what everyone wants in a coach? I think that is the most beneficial thing about him. Even now, after I'm graduated, he still checks in on me often and makes sure I am doing good. I will always only have good things to say about Kurt, and I hope that the board can give him another chance or at least reconsider.
Good evening, board. My name is Emma Brock, and I reside on Savoy Road in Fort Recovery, Ohio. As a player on an observing softball team, I can say that after watching and playing against Kurt's teams during school ball and select, it is very evident that Kurt is very dedicated and has nothing but commitment to these girls. Whether you believe that Kurt is too hard on his girls or doesn't have enough respect for his players, you can admit that he is a very good coach. My best friend Sophia lives right across from the school, and I haven't seen a single day where she's out there and Kurt is not with her. As a player myself, I can say that an undisciplined team is a losing team. Any team in your very own and surrounding conference will be put through hard times and will often face trials, especially with their coach. But what you can sit here and see is that no matter what negativity you claim Kurt pushes into his players, they still clearly support and are devoted to ensuring Kurt continues his coaching career at Milton-Union. Anyone can be a coach, but not everyone can be a teacher and inspire others to lead by example like Kurt Schaefer can. I ask that you reconsider your decision.
My name is Levi Knight. I reside on Markley Road. My speech is not going to be nearly as put together as everyone else that's came up here and talked tonight, and I didn't write the first thing down. But I talked to Kurt Schaefer tonight on the phone before I got here. I asked him exactly what happened, and he said he got a phone call from Fulton. Fulton said it was the hardest phone call he ever had to make. He said he didn't even really go into detail as into why. I was just given two options and said that it wasn't going to be renewed. He said, I don't know if it was because Fulton was so upset that he couldn't go more into detail, but it was a short conversation. Kurt's pretty upset about it, as the community's upset about it. Just everyone here shows that. He was mowing his son's yard when I called him, and we all know that if he was still here, he'd be mowing the baseball field right now, or softball field right now. There's a lot of speculations, rumor mill going around. It's West Milton. There's always rumors going around. But usually, someone figures out what's going on, and no one's really got a legit answer as to why. Kurt didn't even get a legit answer as to why. So, to address you as a board, I don't know if you want to speak or not, or if you're allowed to speak, however it may go. We would kind of like a reasoning as why the decision was made. But I'm also very proud of everyone that came here tonight and agreed with the way that I said, let's go about this. We don't want to come at you guys with torches and pitchforks, and it's not a witch hunt. We don't know all the facts, and you can't go into a fight with feelings and no facts. Feelings don't win a fight. So we're kind of hoping maybe we could get a little bit of your guys' side, but I do have some facts. Facts are that he's made a huge impact to everyone in here. Facts are he's made a huge impact to this school's softball program. Facts are he has saved this school a lot of money. The school's had a lot of money issues going on. We've had the levies, everything. That's one person we didn't have to work, or sport we didn't have to worry about pouring money into. He took care of it. When it comes to the kids, I'm a softball coach myself for 10U Rec. I started 8U Rec. My daughter Remy plays. I'm on the softball board. I'm on the Mira board. And I can say as a board member and as a coach that Kurt is not just about his varsity team. Kurt is about anyone in the sport, all from T-ball all the way up. He's always had his hand in it. He's always been willing to help. I'm going to forget more. I'm going to remember more after I sit down that I want to say than anything. But I think everyone here shows what we feel the board should do. The board's voted on by the community, and I think the community is showing you what they expect.
Thank you for your time and your comments. To answer your questions, this is going to sound like a canned answer again, and I'm sure I'm going to take plenty of flack for it. But
Speak up for those in the back. Yeah. Speak up.
I said, okay. Appreciate you coming out. I understand people want answers. I don't know what's been conveyed between AD and Kurt as far as reasoning or anything like that. But I'm sure you can ask Mr. Huffman, as being a past board member, being a board member and discussing personnel matters is not appropriate. Not in this environment, not ever.
When is it appropriate?
And is it
When
appropriate?
would it be appropriate? When it's done and over, you can't make a change?
After it's too late.
That's why we're here now, to try to fix that problem.
I understand that, but we cannot comment on personnel matters.
But you're the board. When do you
You're
make
the ones that make the decisions.
And what all?
And not only that, but I observed that while everybody's up there talking, there's 3 or 4 people that have their head down, not even paying attention to what these people are saying.
I'm taking notes as to what they're
I
saying.
understand that, but there's people that are looking at their computer, they're flipping through papers, they're not even paying attention to what we're saying. You have your community here fighting for a coach, and you guys have already made a decision and pretty much saying it is what it is.
I've got a page and a half of notes here. I'm looking down as I'm writing, taking notes. I'm listening to people talking.
It's not just
It's not just you.
It's other members. It wasn't you.
And thank you, Ms. Brumbaugh, for paying attention and having eye contact with everybody that went up and spoke, because I'm sure that means a lot.
We get that if it's something personal, that's fine, but you can't do it the way you do it and then expect anybody to have an answer or wondering what's going on. You have to address something.
All of these lives are being affected, and that's all a choice by you guys, and nobody gets a say. How is that fair?
What about the girls that he coaches? What about them?
Yeah, don't they deserve an
Yeah, and I feel that, I think, like, how many girls did he coach this year? And from my understanding, an issue, I'm assuming an issue occurred this year for the decision to be made not to renew his contract. And you had all the girls from this year that are in here in support of him. So I could see maybe a parent getting butt hurt or something, because he is, I'm not gonna lie, me and Kurt had it out. When I first met Kurt, me and Kurt did not get along. And me and Kurt hashed it out, and I can't say what we said because it wouldn't be appropriate in here. But after we had that conversation, we're on good terms. And I found out that, you know what, he actually cares. It wasn't he was being a butthead just to be a butthead. He's a butthead because he cares, and he's got the knowledge, and he knows what he's talking about. And I don't like being put in my place, but he kind of put me in my place, but he knew what he was doing when he did it. But I feel that the issue couldn't be too bad for all of us students to be here to stick up for him. And I get parents being butthurt. I'm a coach myself, and I can tell you right now, I ain't perfect, and there's parents butthurt with decisions that I make, 100%. And yeah, I just hope you guys reconsider. Maybe we didn't think that, and well, I'm saying maybe as in the board, we didn't think that there was as many people that were on his side versus against him, because maybe you guys only get to hear the people that are against him. Because usually when someone has a problem, they're the ones that complain. Usually when someone's doing great and a fantastic job, the only people that get to hear how good of a job they're doing is that person themselves, rather than us coming in one by one through the week like, man, Kurt's been doing great, like I really love him as a coach. You guys don't get to hear all the great things he does. You get to hear more of the things that people don't like that he does. So now as a board, I hope you see there's a lot of people that thinks he does a lot of great things. And I just hope you reconsider.
We're listening. Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks.
I did not prepare a speech, but I feel very obligated to talk today. So in 2009, I came over here as, oh, I'm sorry, Lauren Sparks. I reside on 571 right now, but my original address is Park, my house Park, sorry. I feel very obligated to say something. So in 2009, I came over here with Kurt Schaefer. I was hired as the JV coach. I have played for Kurt for, 22 years. I played for him at Miami East and graduated in 07 and followed him over here to start my coaching career. Since then, we have built the Blaze into an organization that gives back to every youth. I actually coach that organization. I actually help run that organization. And I cannot tell you, if it wasn't for Kurt, I wouldn't be where I am today. Kurt, over the years, since I've been here, I've kind of stepped back since I've had my child 8 years ago, but I still am involved. I put all the stats in the league for him. I do a lot of things, administrative work behind the scenes for him. I still turn my certs in to be able to coach here if need be as well. Throughout the 17 years that I've been here with Kurt, I have watched him pay numerous kids paid play fees that were unfortunate enough to afford it. I have watched him come out of his own pocket to buy catching gear, $500 bats, and give them to the children with no questions asked. If you can't afford it, Kurt Schaefer is your person. He will get you what you need when you need it, no questions asked, no stipulations. I happened to be one of those players when I was growing up. I had to buy my own equipment, and Kurt got me everything that I needed as well. We always submit stuff for kids to get scholarships. Even if they don't want to go to the next level, I am still putting their name out there for him consistently to help gather and get the attention of the schools for all the individuals here. I submit all the stats for the state recognition awards and all the district awards. And what has happened here today has really broke my heart because, like I said, I don't know about anybody else out here, but me personally, I've coached with him. I have been coached by him. And he brought me into the softball world, and I cannot be more thankful. That's all I have to say.
Said raise your hand earlier. Right. Just following the rules.
You guys said that. Hi, my name is Nick Luciano, former assistant coach, former assistant volunteer coach for the softball program. Reside on Haskett Road here in West Milton. Board, you guys currently, or just recently said that you're unable to discuss the specifics of kind of everything that everybody's discussing here tonight. I'm not going to be able to say anything different that hasn't already been said by players, community members and everybody else, but can you guys answer as a group, was it the board's decision to not renew the contract for Mr. Schaefer?
It was discussed amongst everybody involved, administration, AD, and the board.
So board, AD, and administration are as a group, made the decision? Okay. That's all I have. Just wanted some clarity on that.
Same group that I'm going to say something too.
Real quick. I just got a question. Well, I'm Brian Nevels. I live in Elida right now. My daughter graduated and son graduated from here. And then Kurt forever. I do have a question. First board meeting I've ever been to, believe it or not. Was this discussed in this kind of group setting to terminate or not renew his contract? Was it a board meeting?
It was discussed in executive session.
In an executive session? Okay. I'm just kind of curious why you could talk about it then, but not now. So that was my question.
Because it's a personnel matter.
It's an open board meeting.
That was my question. Kurt wasn't. Was Kurt involved? Kurt, but Kurt can't do the personal reason of his own matter.
It was not Kurt was not involved in the discussion.
I mean, yeah, that was so I'm confused.
You should be allowed to know why he was hesitating to speak on the bill.
Right.
Go, Britt.
I'm Brittany Portwright. I reside on Main Street here in Milton. A lot of you know me, a lot of you don't know me. I'm Kurt's sidekick. I'm with him all the time. I'm like the team mom. He's the crazy, I'm the calm. It's just how we do it. I'm the first one to rip into him when he's ripping into somebody else. It's just, we have a very love-hate relationship. I don't know how else to put it. I did not come here thinking that I was going to talk today, but I see my girls. I see people who I have coached with Kurt, their kids. They're not even from here. I've had a lot to do with a lot of people in here, and all of that is solely because of Kurt Schaefer. I have coached alongside of him for 12 years. High school here for, this was my 10th year completed, coaching with Kurt. And I just think there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people miss when they make executive decisions. As such, we have a lot of people who are super upset, rightfully so. We don't have answers on a man who's literally given his entire life to every single one of these families in here, me included. He coached me. I've known him since I was 12. I'm 30, so it's been a very long time. And I just spent the last week down with him in Panama. Our team just took first place down there. Very long, hot week, but very long, rewarding week at the same time. I know he's probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but leaving Florida the way that we left this year, I've never seen the man show emotion the way he did. I've never seen him look at girls and hug them and have basically tears going down his face. I've never seen the man cry. He does not show emotion. And that's when it hits. That's when it hurts. When you've been a part of somebody's life for so long, who is tough as nails, always cut and dry, blah, blah, you know, we all know him. That's just how he is. Show emotion like that because he feels like his softball's over. Like, he's just kind of done. He doesn't know what to do. He said goodbye to our team we've had for the last 12 years. This past week, it was emotional, yet very rewarding. I want to make sure that you guys are all aware that every single person in this room is in support of him because Kurt's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to this community. He supplies to every single program here. He buys all of our equipment solely out of his pocket. Everything the girls have, everything they wear, everything you see them have, that comes out of Kurt's pocket because, like we know, we're non-revenue. We don't get the money that other programs at this school get. But we still get it because Kurt Schaefer makes it happen. That's what being a good coach does. Do we fundraise a lot and the parents hate it? Yep, sorry about it. But guess what? Our girls get the best of what they need. They get their helmets, they get their bats, they get the equipment, they get, you know, Marley, I mean, he's bought you ankle bracelets, he's bought you, I mean, I can go down to every single one of those girls and literally name stuff that he's personally paid for to make sure that they were properly equipped for the game itself. I mean, he's given everybody a way to express themselves. He's given them a chance to play at a higher level and whatnot. I've never seen the man sit there and watch somebody struggle. He pays for their pitching lessons, their hitting lessons, their catching lessons. He sits there and spends every single day at that field out there. That field is one of the nicest fields in our area. And it's because it's got a lot of love poured into it. And quite frankly, everything that field has over there is Kurt Schaefer. He provided it. He has people who do and work on the Reds fields, that's who he hires to come do our field and our stuff to make sure that we have the absolute best. That comes out of his pocket, not our funding. Everything here, I mean, it's Kurt's. No Milton player ever has to pay to play at a higher level, or like fall ball and stuff. He keeps them going, he keeps them moving, he keeps leads here. He's brought so much to this community, to this school, so much attention, so many leads, so many, like, everything. How can you just say goodbye to that? How can you just let that go? For what? I mean, I coached with him for how long? And this season by itself, every coach that I had and coached with this year has been let go from me. I'm the only one here. I'm the only one left out of 5 coaches. And I don't have an actual reason for any of them being gone. It's just me. And it shouldn't be that way.
That's correct. Thank you for your, but the 3 minutes are out. We've got a lot of people today.
That's fine. Does anyone else want to talk? Go right ahead.
I wore a beer shirt.
Thank you.
I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that every girl that has played for Kurt has probably thought in their life that they have had no supporter in their sport. However, he has been always their biggest supporter. He's always been there to offer supplies that they need, for encouragement. He's always been there for every small detail that they may have made. And I hope that you guys would consider, because of how great of a person and how great of a coach he is. He's always been here for us, and he always will be, even if he's not on the field with us. He's always going to be there to help us and support what we need, and always be able to give us the supplies, and will always be there to, one, help us with our accountability and our leadership for everyone of all ages, from T-ball all the way up to when you're an adult and you're wanting to be a coach or you're wanting to just be a better person. He's going to be the one to help you. So I hope you would consider it. Oh, go ahead.
I'll be quick.
Sorry.
My name's Theodore Whitaker, and I live on Wagner Road here in West Milton. And I don't have much more to add on to Kurt's legacy here, but I do, just if the board could clarify, because there's a lot of people in this room that probably have never been a part of a school board meeting when the board indicated that the decision was made in an executive session. Can the board explain what members are entitled to be in that executive session? So whomever, so community members and board members alike can attend.
So where was Kurt during this? Was he there?
So why was there not, with an individual with such an impact in the community, why was there no notice to allow other members that could have been there to provide an additional side of Kurt Schaefer to participate within that executive session?
Listen, I can't go into detail regarding the situation. I'd love to go into detail to defend any position that we may have, but I can't, respectfully.
Well, I'm not asking for specific. I'm asking why the community was not invited.
Yeah. That digs into specifics regarding
So generally, when we are considering the firing or discipline, almost every, that is always an executive session. So that is for
So can we?
employees and
sorry.
other people that may be involved. So that's always a closed session. And generally, the invitees are very small because you're wanting to keep that information and be widely spread.
So can we as a community have a list of who all attended that meeting?
I think our leader notes say.
Because if it's an executive session, is that information published?
No.
So the votes that were to be removed, for Kurt to be removed, were under an executive session that the community was not invited to, that we also cannot get the information on why that decision was made and how that vote was held. Is that correct?
Are you allowed to vote in an executive session?
It's just discussion there, right?
Just discussion.
Okay, so can we as a community get the,
In order not to renew his contract, you had to all come into agreement, which would be a vote, correct?
Should be.
Either that or somebody made the decision.
what I'm trying to get at is, as a community member and as a member of the softball organization within Milton-Union, you see how much of an impact Kurt has had on this community. I don't have to repeat it because everyone that has stood up here has said that. Decisions were made where the community was not invited. You see what has happened. Kurt Schaefer has made an impact on a lot of girls. You know, I stand up here as a supporter of Miami County Blaze, but ultimately I'm a supporter of Milton-Union Rec Association, specifically, I mean all sports, but softball, right? I am the commissioner of the rec organization for softball, and among many people, I'm not going to sit here and list them, Kurt has been such a phenomenal help for every single girl that has come through this organization. Kurt does not see it as high school softball, travel ball with Blaze, and rec. He sees it as a community as a whole. And the community here, as you see, does not feel that what happened to Kurt was fair, and it seems that no answers or even just specifics can be answered on why the decision was made. And I feel the community is entitled to have some sort of answer as to why that decision was made. I understand, like many people said, Kurt, you either love him or hate him, but I can tell you that no matter what he did with every single girl that he had through his program, I guarantee you they would all say Kurt was the best coach that I've ever had.
At the end of the day, you respect him.
Absolutely. So, please, the reason why I came up here is I feel like the community needs more answers than just, it was an executive session and we can't discuss it. If community members were entitled to be in that part of that session, I feel the community also is entitled to reasons why, after 17 years of dedication, that Kurt Schaefer is being let go. So I respectfully thank you for your time and consideration for everyone that has spoken up here. And like it was mentioned before, nobody in here wants this. We're not trying to make it a witch hunt. What we're trying to do is get the board and the school district to understand the importance that Kurt Schaefer had on the young ladies and women as they have grown older, and the dedication and support he has had for them. So, thank you.
I am Marley, and I live on Rushwood Circle in Clayton, Ohio. I was not planning on speaking today. I have nothing written out. But I will say I have never in the past 7 years of my life had a Kurt-like coach. Kurt. But he, like Britt said, he gave me ankle braces that I had a injury my sophomore year of high school in volleyball. He knows nothing about volleyball. But he noticed how bad that really affected me, and I could not pitch because I was in so much pain, and he took money out of his own pocket to get me those braces. He took money out of his own pocket to buy me 2 bats. I spoke to him about a lot of stuff that I probably would not have spoken to my parents about. Kurt, I've done a lot for this community and for me and my parents. I have played on his Blaze team. I was asked to play when I was 15 years old on an 18U team. I was so scared that I would not. I was playing against 19-year-olds. I was 15. He believes in every single one of these girls in this room. Sorry, I did not think I was going to cry. But Kurt is like family. Yes, he was harsh on us, but that's because he believed the potential that he had in us to be better. That whole field out there has his name written all over it. The tarp, the materials, literally everything. I am very upset, and me, myself, and I'm sure other people, the girls in this room are reconsidering playing next year because he will not be here. And it sucks because it's going to be my senior year of high school and I can't. I don't have a coach like him ever again. So yeah, thank you.
Matt Eshelman, live at 1170 South Miami Street. As it's well aware, everybody, Blaze went to Panama. If the board was in executive session, why are board members going to Florida and talking about it before it got out to the community? So I'm on the fire department, and if we go into executive session, lips are sealed until it comes out. Why? Please tell me why a board member is down in Florida talking about it, laughing about it, saying we got it. So is this a witch hunt because he got a couple complaints against him? Or is this because he's done such a good job that you guys want to give someone else a chance? Because my daughter plays for him now for 8U Blaze. I've known Kurt a long time. But he is literally paid for 2 girls to do travel ball that didn't have the money. He paid to help us pay for catcher's gear for my daughter because we were tight. That is the kind of person that you want and is a staple in this community. He does not just help the high school. He helps the rec. I've seen him out there. I caught him on a Friday before a tournament, and he was dragging all the fields. He was lining all the fields by himself. He doesn't ask for help. He doesn't ask for anything. And then you're going to strip coaching away from him? The one thing that the man lives for? That's all I got. Thank you.
My name is John Jackson. I reside
Real
in...
quick, I'm sorry, before you start, what was your name back there? We could
Matt
not.
Eshelman.
What, excuse me?
Matt Eshelman.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, could we get an answer to this question of why somebody was talking about it in Florida?
Yeah, we'd all like.
Which one was in Florida?
We all know, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
You know which one's in Florida.
Everybody knows. I don't think like this is the time just to gang up on one person.
But maybe he should have followed the rules and not did that.
Just stick to the facts and hear what you guys have to say.
Well, that is a fact.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
I don't know if it's like a fact or not. I don't know. We can talk to that later, but right now, let's just keep the discussion.
Can we ask questions? When the executive session was directly and when it should have been public knowledge?
Great question.
A date of the executive session and a date specifically when it should have been public knowledge. My name's Sam Peck. I live in West Milton on North Miami Street.
I don't recall when we discussed which executive session. I don't recall exactly what executive session.
Was it in the last
Can
week?
you recall when it should have been public knowledge, Mr. President? Can you recall when it should have been public knowledge? When the board would have been?
It's a contract. He gets renewed every year. Every coach is renewed every year.
I understand.
When that, I don't deal with the athletics directly. we're higher level than that. We have discussions in executive sessions about situations. We didn't take a official vote on saying this needs to be done or that needs to be done. We bounce stuff off each other in executive session, address our concerns, and at that point, it's gone to the appropriate administrator to handle. We did not take a vote on, let me finish my thought, please. So we have meetings monthly. We usually have executive sessions every board meeting. Do we go into executive session and say, let's talk about Kurt Schaefer this particular meeting? Was it on an agenda? It was not. So I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what day.
So as a board member, confidentiality amongst employer relations should have been handled confidentially, right? So at what point would you have been able, or any other board member sitting at the table, been able to talk about that particular subject matter, the termination or ask for resignation of Kurt Schaefer, a specific
I
date?
don't know any details about that.
I'm asking because at a hotel in Georgia, I have a parent that's riding with a board member to a travel ball tournament in your board telling me about the issues with Kurt Schaefer on July 3rd at 9:30 in the morning at a breakfast table. Wasn't intentionally stopping at the same hotel. Happened
I
to.
could probably answer some of this because I talked to Kurt about all this. I've talked to him 5 times. Kurt found out July 2nd. He was told by Fulton on July 2nd.
So in
whatever their conversation.
In your opinion, sir, should that have been public knowledge? Should
I
the
don't know.
board have been discussing those with other
I can
community
think at that
members?
point it's public knowledge. Once he's told by the employee at the school, we're not going to renew your contract, that I assume that it's okay to discuss after that because Kurt knew. And he
But I
just,
thought it was discussed with Kurt that it wasn't going to be posted until after softball, summer softball season was over,
that might be
which is
true
August
too.
1st.
That's probably
Yes.
true. But I don't know that for sure. I just know when he had the conversation with Chris.
I would assume he's still employed till August 1st because he still has access to the facilities.
I don't know exactly what his time.
Okay, thank you for your time. I just want to bring up the facts as I see them and know that it's highly, I want the board to know that we all know that it's weird the way it went down. And it feels like there's still some good old boy stuff in West Milton schools and it don't feel real good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jennifer Jackson. I reside at Williams Drive in West Milton. All I really have to say is, there's parents out there that get hurt because he is rough on the kids, and I'm not going to rehash what everybody said, but, I feel like Milton, especially the sports program, is sometimes not fairly, the children are on teams because of teacher status, board members, parents that are involved in the school, and Kurt made the players earn their positions, whether their dad was a coach or their dad was a teacher. The kids had to earn their positions, and I feel that if you don't reconsider your situation, the decision, I feel like softball is going to fall into that same realm along with all the other sports where your name or your status of your family member will decide if your kid plays what position.
Amen.
Amen. That's all I have to say.
Will the board go back and have another executive conversation about this after hearing all the support this evening?
I'm sure it'll be a topic of discussion.
I'm sure. Yes. Okay.
So moving, I wasn't going to speak either. I still don't want to speak. But moving forward, what is your goal? What is your goal? Say, like Kurt has done, you don't reevaluate the situation. I mean, you just lost 3 coaches this year. We don't know it because it's personal and it'll come out. And I do respect each and every one of you guys, but we're all here for a reason, and if you can't give us any answers, we don't have, none of us want to leave out here until we know something.
Listen,
It's gonna be nothing but drama talk and Milton, and, I mean, what's your goal moving forward? Do you have 3 other coaches lined up?
They do. Board member.
I'm being honest here. I mean, I'm not beating you down, but what do you
I
do?
might as well not talk because I can't talk because everybody talks over me. Listen, there is, I'm sure we will discuss it at more detail. Will there be any decisions made tonight or in the near future? I don't know. As far as details, again, it's a personnel matter. The school could be held liable if we say this, or this about the coach, and it's a difficult position we are in. It's just like any other personnel matter. It's confidential, and we can't discuss it. I can't go into any more detail than that. I apologize that I can't do that, but that's just the position as a board that we are in.
And I respect it, and I think what I'm saying is if it was that personal, he wouldn't have moved on and went and played at Panama with 13, 14 other girls. No matter what, it would have been handled, and he wouldn't have been coached at all. So I just don't see it being that bad when a man leaves his job after 17 years. And if it is, then we won't buy your penalties, but I just don't see it.
Thank you. I kindly request that anybody has questions, take the podium. I'm going to allow another 15 minutes, and then we're going to move back into regular session. Because we have to get moving, but I want to give everybody the opportunity to speak. Go ahead.
Sir, what was your name?
Brady Rosencrantz.
My name is Miley Jones. I live on Haskett. I just have a question. Why wasn't Kurt allowed to be at the executive meeting or notified that his position was
Even in question?
even in question, and it was a conversation that you guys didn't make with him? It was
It's
just a decision.
oftentimes that if there's issues, and I can't speak to specifics, again, I can't say that so-and-so, or we got this complaint or this complaint. I can't discuss why, the circumstances around it, but there was discussion about it. It doesn't always involve the person, the employee of the school. And again, this is at a board level. The board doesn't hire and fire coaches.
Yeah, earlier you said that people that were close, not with the case, I don't know what it's called, but people that should have been there, that had personal connections, were allowed to be there. Like did you say you invited people to it?
It was admin and board. We didn't invite anybody else in but admin and board to that executive session.
That's all, I guess.
I understand what she's saying. Sometimes in executive session, if it involves somebody who's not on the board, we will invite them if they're dealing with the situation.
So why wasn't he invited?
Why was he not invited?
Renee Nevels, Atlanta, Ohio. We should just take a second. So as the board, when you guys go into executive session, you guys can invite anyone in the community that may have a complaint against any, not just coaches, any employee of the school?
That's generally not a practice we take. We will take under advisement their complaint, but we usually don't invite them in.
Okay, so you guys can listen to all the complaints, but not hear all the people in.
But with that being said, you're admitting that the complaint was within the board or the office?
How was
Hi, I'm Lacey Jeffrey. I live on Wheelock Road. I guess I just have a question, since no one can give us any answers as to why the decision of terminating Kurt Schaefer's position was decided on. But there's been people up here stating that there's a board member was talking about it. Does that board member want to give us an explanation on that, since they openly talked about it before?
Yeah. I am, so as stated in the as I read at the beginning of the open session, we're not going to direct questions or comments towards one board member. We are a board.
But this pertains. One of you haven't spoke.
Yes.
Everybody else has mentioned.
There is 5 of us. We are a board.
Apparently there's 4.
Were you acting as a board for this member to be in Panama City? Were they acting as a board when they were openly talking about it?
I'll speak. We'll vote them all out.
Thank you.
I did not openly talk about the situation. It was very awkward for me. I had someone send me a text, another community member, that there was something sent out, an email or something about the job posting on consortium or something, or what is it?
The Dayton Consortium.
Dayton Consortium. That's how I found out. I didn't speak about it. I didn't feel that was the right thing to do with Kurt. He didn't talk to me about it. I talked to Kurt on the 3rd or 4th. He called me.
So it's just a rumor that people are saying?
He could, he didn't speak to me about it that day when we called. We talked about tournament, ready to go for a coaches meeting. It wasn't addressed. And I didn't search people out down there to speak about it. I was down there to coach my travels. I don't know where that's coming from. There's another rumor that I was told about I want the head coaching job for high school. I don't have any interest. I have 4 kids. I coach a travel team. I don't have enough time. I'm on the school board. I have 3 or 4 businesses. I don't have time. I don't want that position. And that's the honest truth. I don't have enough time for my younger kids as it is now. There's no way I could do what Kurt does for that program.
That's all I have. Thank you.
I'm a West Milton alum. I've coached for Kurt, coached 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. A lot of my girls are in here today. I came to address the board and the community. Executive session, and I'm a mayor of a local village. So when we go into executive session, we talk about the problems that need to go on, and once the decision's made, we come out and let the people know exactly why that decision was made collectively. Me personally, to you guys, and I don't know any of you nothing, my kids aren't playing sports for you guys or anything like that. I tried to open enroll, you guys wouldn't allow it, but to be honest, I think you guys are cowards. From the paralegals last year to Joe Dell, to the way Ruby's being treated, to the way the coaches have been treated. Like Miss Brittany said, there's 5 coaches, now there's 4, or there's only 1, 4 of them are gone. Nobody has any answers to anything, and that's ridiculous. To the public, you guys can keep this same stamina come vote time, because you guys deserve to know what's going on. You guys deserve to have these answers, regardless if these people will give them to you or not. And if they won't, recall them. They're publicly elected officials. Those signatures, I would assume, based off your population, might have to have 100 of them. But recall them and fill those positions. This is ridiculous. It's been ridiculous. You know, cutting Joe Dell's hours back, letting her retire, but then cutting her hours back so she has to cover her own insurance, stabbing her in the back. Right, writing Ruby up for giving kids chips and pop, and trying to pick out the underprivileged ones, that's pretty disgusting. So I think it's time it changes around here. There is a lot of good old boy stuff going on around here. I can see it. So, you know, take that into the voting polls. Have a good night, guys.
Ashley Duncan, Hamilton Street, West Milton, Ohio. We all know that school funding is pretty strapped. Is softball, is this going to be the end of it? Because Kurt funded it. My daughter is going to be 7th grade. She was cheated out of club ball last year. She's probably not going to have club ball this year. Who's going to fund it? No one knows.
As far as school-sponsored softball?
So it's the middle school,
Right.
but then also high school.
Kurt sponsored softball.
I mean, the position's been posted to hire to keep the softball program.
But you're missing the point, it's the funding that are provided for those.
Yeah. Who's going to fund it? Is there school funds for middle school ball?
No, it's not a school sport. That's a club sport.
Yeah, it's
It would have to be a recognized school.
And that's the point, it goes away.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to wait more years without playing until high school because that funding is gone.
Beginning for the
Batting cages, pitching machines and all that, you guys gonna go out and buy all that when he takes it?
You said we don't even have bases?
I did.
All right, you just said come back up here if we have questions rather than sit. I'm gonna make it quick. But you had said we're a school, we're a board, the board, and we're talking about a coach, that a board is not who hires and fires a coach, correct? So then you're saying you as a board are not the ones who decided to get rid of him, because that's not your job, correct?
I can't say that we don't have influence. If there's,
So whose job is it to hire and fire a coach? Is that the athletic director? Because the athletic director told him that was the last thing he wanted to do.
I don't know what discussions that he had with the athletic
Right.
director. I have not spoken with Mr. Fulton, so I don't know what discussions were had, the tone of those discussions or anything of that nature. So I can't, again, I can't comment on that.
Okay. I was curious because I heard you say that it wasn't your guys' job to hire, fire coaches, whatever, so I was trying to figure what chain that went through, whose job that was.
It was just
All right.
heavily influenced by them,
Right.
is what
All right,
he said.
thank you.
all have to approve or deny who the AD hires, correct?
So if it comes, yes, so if the AD hires someone, it'll come to us on the board agenda and on a contract that we have to approve.
So
Each year.
you do hire and fire.
So we approve the hire, if that makes sense.
Did you guys approve not renewing his?
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is.
It was not an agenda vote.
But it was, but it was decided. It was decided.
So the vote hasn't been made yet. Well, what I'm saying is there was a contract, you either renew the contract for the year or decide to let him go.
It has to be brought to us.
Right, and has to be brought to you, and you approve that it gets let go or stays renewed.
Can we let's take a collective deep breath here. And I'm going to take everybody off the rails just for a second. Emily, would you mind standing up? This is Emily Gantner. She has been waiting patiently for, I don't know how long now, over an hour, of course. She is going to be our new English teacher in our middle school. And so I I wish I could tell her that all of you folks were here this evening to meet the new English teacher in the middle school. But just as an example, our middle school principal, Justin Burks, interviewed Emily. I interviewed Emily. And typically, I mean, we're in July, so our principals aren't always around. But typically, our principal, Mr. Burks, would make a recommendation that Emily appear in the consent calendar, which is on the agenda tonight. She'll be approved to be the middle school ELA teacher. And so then the board would have the final say when they vote on the entire consent calendar. Now, if they would decide, Emily, they're not going to do this, okay? If they would decide that, hey, Emily's not for us, then they would make a motion to remove a name from the consent calendar and vote for the consent calendar otherwise without that position included. So yes, it's not official until the board says yes, but we make recommendations to the board that go in the consent calendar, and then the board approves them as a whole. Make sense?
Can you clarify, is that?
Oh, wait. We're going to collective deep breath, all right? So Emily, congratulations. We're going to totally let you off the hook right now. So if you would like to go, you're welcome to stay. But we're going to let you off the hook if you want to be. Okay? Welcome to Milton-Union Schools. I promise you, it's not always like this.
Yeah, we fight like it. So.
We'll fight for it.
Everybody will remember.
Real quick. Nick Luciano, Haskett Road. Could you just clarify, and I appreciate the context of that, are you saying that is for new hires only or for renewal contracts as well? Because that's confusing when the way you laid that out, but that would clear it up really easily for what everybody's asking.
Okay, I will try. Okay,
Well, it's either renewals or new only.
I am working without a net here too.
Yes.
Just for the record, okay? I try to advise the board, okay? I work for the board, but just so you know, I don't want them to comment on anything.
Sure.
I don't want them to answer any of these questions. I don't want folks to think that public participation is a question and answer session. I mean, because, as you can see, we pick out individual words in the heat of the moment, and then they become the narrative.
Correct.
So here's the difference with a supplemental contract. So all of our coaches are on supplemental contracts. All of our activity advisors, the band director has a supplemental contract. Those are year to year. So there is no, I guess, it's not, they're year to year.
It's a different process than a new hire as a coach.
Then it would be, say, a classified staff member or a teacher. So everybody's asking, like, when did he get let go? I mean, it's a different contract.
Correct.
So, and I'm not speaking for the board, but I know them. They will talk about this. They will reflect on this. They will take all of this into consideration. Now, when will they get to vote? If there is a softball coach on the consent calendar that's recommended by the athletic director or principal or me, that's when they'll look at the list and they'll see they're hiring a softball coach.
As a new coach, correct? So that clarifies. As a new coach, they will put on the consent calendar.
Or the same. Okay? So, all right, so what am I saying? You folks can get upset all over again.
No, but that clarifies it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, if their name's on the consent calendar for renewal or new hire,
correct,
it can be voted on. If their name's not on that calendar for rehire or renewal, then they won't.
Correct. And if they get to that point, and it's highly unusual.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. If
how many
the 5 voted
every year,
members
yeah.
on the school board decide, hey, I want to take Katie Hartley's name off the consent calendar and vote on the rest of it, you know, what's Katie think about that? So that's highly unusual that happens. And that's also, I mean, I mean, I have to start worrying about stuff like that if they're not going to go with my recommendation. But ultimately, I work for the board. So, yeah, that
And the
would
board
be a
should work for us.
Yeah.
The board should work for us.
And they do. I mean, we forget that, I mean.
And the one gentleman, he mentioned it, I mean, we get to have the pleasure and the privilege to vote for the board.
For sure.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
I'm not trying
No,
to.
they did. I'm not trying to. Like I said, I just wanted clarification whether it was new only or the renewals as well. Thank
So
you.
it's gonna take one of you guys to put him back up on there.
He could go back on the list,
He
correct?
could go
As a
back on the list if
potential-
one of you
I
guys
am
says-
not speaking for anybody but me right now.
I know that.
I'm just saying,
He wasn't fired. He wasn't fired, so he can still be rehired.
I'm
is there a
asking-
possibility?
Is there a possibility one of you guys will put his name back on the list?
So I'm just gonna talk about process, all right? Because I don't think that it's good for the superintendent or any school official to, in a forum like this where people want these answers, and Ben mentioned it earlier, I mean, there's confidentiality, I don't want to make disparaging comments about any employees. That become the narrative, right? So on that side of it, I think, yes, it's the utmost respect for employees that we don't talk about those things in a public session like this. And that's what makes people so frustrated is they want answers, and some of those things are very confidential, and we can't provide those answers in this kind of forum. I couldn't provide those answers to you if you called me on the phone, and it was just you and me on the phone. I would say, I can't really talk about human resource matters, and I know how frustrating that is. But what will happen is, just speaking generally, is when we make a recommendation that goes on the consent calendar for a softball coach.
How does his name get back on there to go back through it again? To reconsider it? How does that work?
So
Is he allowed to
I
withdraw?
am not speaking for the board. I am not trying to fill people
Okay,
with
so
hope
can I
here.
have a question for the board?
Just talking about process, that's it.
I have a question for the board. Salem Lavender, Lexington Avenue, Toronto. Is he allowed to withdraw so that way he doesn't have to technically resign? You guys can vote it again. Is he allowed to do that?
I don't, look, I will be quiet if the board wants me to be quiet.
I can't seem to get through.
So again, supplemental contracts are year to year. So, I mean, how do I make this?
He's not out of it yet.
So
He wasn't fired.
Okay.
He wasn't let go. They just happened. They just didn't
renew his contract.
It's not renewed.
As of now.
He has
one's
an
been
option to
hired.
read it.
Correct.
Okay. There.
No one's been hired.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on now.
Wait, you don't want to hear about seal coating the parking lot?
That'd be a nope.
I do.
More tax dollars are going waste. Tell them not to put it on the levy.
It's very complicated.
The book to sign in is gone. The book to sign in is gone.
It was circulating on a clipboard.
It might be on
Somebody
the
has a
shelf.
clipboard with a sign-in sheet on it, maybe?
Thank you.
We'll move on. Fiscal year 27 tax budget hearing. What do we have to do with this?
If anybody wants to review or ask about the public library's budget or their tax dollars, we have to adopt it. And we have it for review, we have to review the public library's budget.
I'm good.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
If anybody would like to review the Milton-Union Public Library's tax budget, we're their taxing authority. So we have it for review if anybody would like to.
Thank you.
We'll go on to item 3, superintendent's report.
Well, okay, some incredibly exciting things right now. But just to make a couple of comments of items on the board, on the agenda that the board will be considering. So first of all, as you know, Mr. Brackman couldn't be here this evening. So there is a quote from Cooper Blacktop for seal coating the parking lot, or a portion of the parking lot that we didn't do last year. Cooper did provide the most comprehensive quote. It did include some trouble spots that they insisted would be, if we didn't get them corrected now, that they would be a problem for us at this time next summer. And some of the other vendors did not provide that comprehensive of a quote. So that's why we went with Cooper, in case that's a question with the board. Also, a couple of technology things. As you know, we use board docs for our meeting agendas, meeting minutes, but also it is where our online policy manual exists. And also, as you know, we work with Neola as our consulting organization. And so there's a little bit of a difference now with where our policies are located, but you would still get to them in the same way that you always have, right there, where you see Cheyenne's moving her clicker over top of policies. But if you wouldn't mind, it just has a different look to it. It's supposed to be more user-friendly and more easily accessible by members of the public when they're looking for particular things. The problem is going to be in the short term, and by short term, probably over the course of the year, as folks look through the building agendas, so the student handbooks. There might be policy links that are in those handbooks that are going to be, those policy links will not be they won't be accurate for now. So we'll get through another revision at the end of this school year, make sure that those links are updated. If for some reason, somehow, through the magic of the internet, people get to the old policy manual page, those will not be kept up to date. This is the page where everything will be kept up to date. So for the board's knowledge and also members of the public. On the same kind of technology theme for a second, it's a shame everybody left, because there's probably people in the crowd who have children that are eligible for and ride district transportation. So we use, for the upcoming school year, we're going to be using a different web interface. We used Traversa in the past. Before that, we used TransFinder. Now we're going to be using BusRight. And so it all is going to begin with an email message sent to parents and families who are eligible for district transportation, where they'll be asked to set up their account, and they'll be asked to download the BusRight app. And they really just need to be on the lookout for that. It is not fake. It is a real thing. And I think the parents and families that take district transportation will be very happy with BusRight. All of the information regarding bus numbers, drivers, route, they would be able to follow the bus on the way to the residence to know how far away the bus is, when the bus is expected to arrive. It's just really a superior product, and I think it will help. It'll just help provide parents and families the information that they really need and want, and typically call us to get, and sometimes they're frustrated because they don't always get a person, because it's like the middle of the morning and these routes are happening, these trips are happening in the moment, so it's hard to answer those questions in the moment, or in the morning or afternoon when those trips are happening. So I think it's really worthwhile for parents and families to be on the lookout for that email and then download the app. There is also, for folks that have elementary students or have had elementary students, they're familiar with Seesaw, and a lot of our elementary teachers use that religiously to communicate with parents and families. The middle and high school do not have a tool like that, and we're really trying very hard to increase the amount of communication between our middle and high school staff members and parents and families. So I think a lot of our public has already downloaded the Milton-Union Schools app, but here in the next month or so, there's going to be additional features in that app that would allow for teachers to message parents and families who may, let's say this teacher, let's say Mr. Skiles back there, let's say his first period class, he'll be able to push out information to all of his first period class, all the students and families in his first period class. And there's functionality so that he could message the entire group and get individual responses back from individual parents and families. So it would function probably not as, I guess, sophisticated as Seesaw, but it's definitely going to be a step forward with middle and high school. So be on the lookout. If you haven't downloaded the Milton-Union Schools app, do that. And probably in the next month, there'll be additional features in that app that would help increase communication between middle and high school teachers. Also on the agenda, you'll notice that we have this year's lunch prices and activity fees on there. There is no change from 25-26. We elected just to recommend to the board that those all just stay the same as last school year. In terms of our food services operation, the cash balance is very healthy. We did deficit spend this past school year, but Mr. Brackman and I don't believe that's enough to increase meal prices right now. I think next year we can reassess where that is and increase or not accordingly. I just think increasing meal prices right now is just one more thing for parents and families. Had a nice meeting with West Milton PD, Chief Wright, and Carrie Kimple, who is a new officer. They are interested in operating a DARE program here next year. They're going to start with grade 5. We did not necessarily think that memorandum of understanding was something that the board had to approve. We just thought it would be really nice for the board to be aware that West Milton PD was interested in providing that service, again, starting with grade 5. And they did want me to communicate that the DARE program has evolved quite a bit. It's not just about avoiding drugs. It's more about just generally making good decisions. Whereas, where drugs and vaping are part of making good decisions is avoiding that. But the curricular focus is more about making good decisions than it is just kind of the finite avoiding drugs and alcohol and vaping.
Did they give you any idea on what that looks like? Is that like once a month somebody comes by?
They did. It is 9 weeks, and it is 1 day a week. And they look at this as an opportunity for students to see a police officer, have a good experience interacting with a police officer, being able to continue to bond with the school, and also students, parents, and families. But specifically, 1 day a week for 9 weeks. It deals with a lot of social skills, how to manage bullying, how to avoid bullying, not to be a bully. But again, they were going to start with grade 5. I would say the Village 2, the West Milton Police Department is going to absorb the cost. I think they have an opportunity with some grant dollars to do that for just this kind of thing. I just thought it was a really nice thing for them to offer, and something that Mr. Lane, is the new elementary principal, is interested in as well.
And will this be like a 45-minute session?
I don't know about the length of time. I would say it's probably something like that. But Chief Wright wants Officer Kimple to be visible throughout the day on the day she would be here to provide instruction in the classroom. So he wants her to be visible and interact with students on the playground, in the lunchroom, and that kind of thing. So I thought it would be nice. It doesn't hurt to have another law enforcement officer in the building 1 day a week. And I thought it was, they initiated this conversation. I think it was really nice of them to do so. Just one more thing from me. I lied, two more things from me. You'll notice too, we're doing a first reading of policy 5771, which is search and seizure, and 7440, which is facility security. There are no recommended changes to those policies from our Neola consultant right now. I just think it's probably good practice for the board members to have eyes on these two policies, especially after our discussion at the last board meeting, where we're thinking about having metal detecting wands in place next school year to try to minimize the vaping problem at the middle school and primarily at the high school. There is probably the direction that we'll go after you folks review these policies is add an administrative guideline for metal detectors attached with policy 7440. So we'll be working with Mr. Burkhart, our Neola consultant, and also board counsel on that next step after the board members have had a chance to review those two policies. I would say too, there was a comment made about open enrollment. I had this in my notes. I'm not making this comment based on what was said by one of the members of our public this evening. Our enrollment right now in kindergarten is 95. And we have a handful of open enrollment applications of students who would be in kindergarten. And our past practice has been, and we often note this on the open enrollment application, that please check back after Labor Day. Because we find that as we near the start date of the school year, there are some parents and families that have just not gone through the enrollment and registration process. They're surprised by it. I don't know. Life is busy. They just haven't gotten around to it. So we know our trend has been there's going to be a few resident kindergartners that enroll at the last minute. And we would not accept students on open enrollment if that means that we have to add additional staff or if our class sizes are too large. So there are cases where folks see that note and they're like, well, I'm not going to wait until after Labor Day. The school year starts in Tip City or Northmont or Dayton Public or whatever on X day, and I don't want my student to miss. So I'm going to go ahead and enroll them, and then that family gets settled in that routine. And even if we do have a spot available, sometimes, a lot of times, they don't take it. But then there are some folks who are okay to accept the risk, and they'll wait and see after Labor Day, and we call all those people back. So that's the same thing that we've done every school year. We even started doing that when Mrs. Henderson was here as the elementary principal, so that's not a change. But at 95, I think we've got to be careful to leave a few spots for resident kids that parents and families just haven't gotten around to the enrollment registration process just yet. And that's it for me, unless the board members have any questions.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, moving on for Treasurer's Report. A, approval of Board of Education minutes, June 29th, 2026, regular meeting. Do I
Have some difficulties. It's just doing it.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get those?
Ms. Price and Ms. Bloomberg?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mrs. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Bloomberg?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Dr. Hendelman?
Abstain.
And Mr. Diaz?
Yes. B, approval of June 2026 financial report. I have a motion to approve the financial report.
So moved.
You want to give us a...
Dr. Hendelman?
Yeah. Dr. Rankin,
Sorry.
Jess, and Dr. Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You just want to give a brief?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the wrap up of our fiscal year 26. So all of June 2026. Overall, we ended up with better than we had anticipated. We were kind of hoping or expecting the worst, hoping for the best. And so our cash balance, we did deficit spend by about $52,000, but that's much better than we had anticipated. So here's just a visual of our general fund expenditures, general fund revenue, and cash balance from where we budgeted our actual and then 2 years prior. So here is our budget versus actual. So what we had based on our February forecast against the actual cash flow for the fiscal year. And there are some notable variances here, but overall you see that roughly $52,000 deficit that we did occur. And that is understated by about $17,000 because we did have a prior year expenditure for retirement, for CSRS that will be or should have been paid, but our foundation ran out of money, so we have an insufficient fund for our, so basically we're close to about $70,000 deficit this year if we were looking at actuals. So then just to talk about some of those variances, our income tax revenue variance, we did have that significant variance just because we had the old ratios applied, so the PI and general fund, so 92% was to the PI and 8% to the general fund. That was represented in the old forecast, but we corrected it, and so we have that $320,000 difference in that, to why that variance exists. And then restricted aid and grants, our actual variance for this line was $56,287, or 11.19% higher than we had forecasted. So our threshold aid, we were told by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce that they were going to reduce our threshold aid, which is, for those who don't know, it's our special education. We pay into a fund and then we ask for reimbursement back, and then they decide how much they want to give us back. We were told to expect 30% less than what we had gotten in the past. And the max amount that we reported last fiscal year was $383,000, and we were paid $100,042,711. So we got 34.6% reimbursement of what we requested. So then this fiscal year, we did a max amount request for $488,000, and we were paid $124,000. So we got a 25.6% reimbursement on our special education. So overall, our threshold only went down 12.5%, but we were expecting significantly more. But I think our special education expenditures were significantly higher that fiscal year for reporting, so it kind of balanced itself out. All other revenue, the actual variance for this was $62,000, or 5.4% higher than forecasted. Our general fund interest was just under $600,000, or $51,000 higher than we had anticipated. And then other miscellaneous fees and receipts was almost $23,000, or $11,000 higher than forecasted. And then overall, you can see where our student fees were. The elementary school was over 100% for where we had anticipated. We anticipate about 50% of our students to pay their fees based on the disadvantaged population. So of that, elementary school exceeded all of what we had anticipated. Middle school got to about 86%, and high school about a little less than 81% of fees collected for what we had anticipated. Our expenditures, our purchase services, this line was about 9% lower than we had projected for the year. That's because our nursing services were about $18,000 less than they were last year. Alternative placement transportation was about $28,000 less than we had forecasted, and then board and legal fees were about $19,000 less than forecasted, whereas we also transitioned our purchase services to from the ESC contract to 4.3, so there's a little variation there. And then supplies and materials, this was slightly lower than we had anticipated by 11.5%. Forecast included estimates for transitioning our 009 account to our 001. We did transfer $41,000 from general fund to 009 for supplies that we purchased. And that transfer is actually reflected in our 5-1 because it's an operating transfer out. So if you consider that, it really gets us kind of to where we need to be. Fuel costs did go up about 59%, but we did have about 35% estimated of $35,000 increase for our return to full transportation. Obviously, we weren't able to return to full transportation because we weren't able to hire all of the drivers that we wanted to, but we did see an increase with transportation and inflation for fuel prices. Other objects, this is where our ESC contracts lie, and then some other auditor fees. We anticipated slightly higher for our auditor fees because we pay a 1.5% admin fee on our new school district income tax. But this still was about $19,000 higher than we had anticipated, and it was 16.6% higher than our auditor fees last year. Liability insurance was about $2,000 more, and then our foundation for Montgomery County was not included in the original forecast for our ESC 43 line. So that explains that. But overall, with the exceeding revenues and the reduced expenditures, our revenues exceeded forecast by 1.29%, and our expenditures came in 2.04% under budget. So it resulted in an overflow cash deficit of that $52,000, but that's much better than we had anticipated on the forecast. So if you look, our days cash on hand ratio, the cash balance against the expenditures represented by daily operating costs of $67,432 a day, with 30 days in the month, we have $81 days cash on hand, which best practice is 60. So, any questions about that so far? And then our cash summary report, this shows our fund balances for every fund that we have. And then moving forward, our investment summary, where we have all of our investments. Like Dr. Ritchie mentioned before, our food service did exceed our revenue this year, our expenditures, but we did see an increase in, food service. We got raises, and that was included in there. And right now, the year-to-date loss was just $13,295. So not a real cause for concern or any reason to go raise the fees immediately. And then overall, these are all of the disbursements, checks, anything that was made in the month of June, and their status. Any questions?
Any discussion or questions? Very good.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Durwell?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. 5 other special reports, NUEA.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. B, OPSI.
I don't think so.
All right, 6, agenda confirmation. A, additions and deletions to the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions? None. Approval agenda, recommend approval of agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
You know what, real quick, can I just add something to agenda for a quick discussion?
Can we add, do we have to add it a certain section?
What's the topic here?
The topic is, it's not like a major topic, but I just thought, we really have a lot of good staff here in the school, and I thought it would be really neat if we could showcase a teacher each month, maybe things that they enjoy doing, any skills that they have that the kids might not know about. And the media class for high school could promote that on Facebook or on the school website.
Why don't we talk about it in
Wherever it can be
11.
squeezed in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Information
11.
and discussion items?
Okay.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like, do you think there's going to be, is that something There's
Like
gonna
a
need to
general
be
information
board
in it,
action
would that
on?
fit under there?
No, I don't think we'll need board action.
Yeah, let's just talk about it as
Okay.
information discussion.
So any other additions or deletions? We'll just talk
No,
about that in general
we're
information.
good on that. We've got a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda. Didn't we?
No.
I motioned, but I don't know if there was a second.
Linda motion, Justin second, roll call please.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. 7, old business. Is there any old business?
None at this time.
8, new business. A, transfers. Recommend approval of the following. 1, transfer $110,000 from the general fund 001 to the termination benefit funds 035. 2, transfer $200,000 from the general fund 001 to the athletic fund 300. 3, transfer $17.66 from the general fund 001 to 019-9123. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. B, revised fiscal year 26 final appropriations. Recommend approval of the revised fiscal year 2026 final appropriations as presented. See attached. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. C, return of advances. Recommend approval to return the following advance funds back to the general fund. Fund 516, $14,782.98. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. D, petty cash. Recommend department in building petty cash funds in the following amounts to begin the 2026-27 school year. Food service, $30. High school, $150. Elementary school, $250. Athletics, $2,500. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. E, OSBA Capital Conference delegates, recommend authority, well, I guess we need to discuss who wants to be delegates for the Capital Conference.
What is the date of that?
It is,
December
Is it
15th
usually
to
the
17th.
it's November, which is never a really good month for me, but
15th to the 17th.
would you like to be a delegate?
Just ready. But I can go, that's not a problem.
All right, you're it.
Oh, geez, thanks. Don't you want to go with me?
Who, gotta have an alternate.
Who would be the alternate? You wanna run? He can't, he's the
I have gone before. I mean,
yeah, but you can't act as a delegate.
yeah, it's not for me, yeah.
You can put me down, but
Okay.
sure,
Just back up.
I'm back up.
Don't know you.
All right, so recommend authority to appoint Julianne Price as delegate and myself, Ben Diaz, as alternate to the OSBA Capital Conference, November 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. F, Healthy Kids Program Memorandum of Understanding 2026-27. Recommend approval of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Healthy Kids Program for the 2026-27 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Is the program changing any from what they did last year?
Well, they tried really hard to get some summer programming off the ground, but they just did not have the enrollment to continue it. I can't remember the number, but they have to have a certain number of students enrolled to maintain the program. Can't remember what that is. But what we're talking about here would be before school and after school. And also, I think they've got kind of I can't remember what they call it, but they've got the last minute, something came up, you can, opportunity for parents and families to bring their student just for maybe that day. But yeah, we'll try to spread the word as much as we can.
We posted it last year, didn't we?
Yep, it's going to be in the newsletter. It goes out the beginning of the year newsletter, and we've made at least one social media post so far. We'll do that again, but yeah, I think it's a nice thing for parents and families that need it as an option.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Hinkleman? Yes. Mrs. Brumbaugh? Yes. Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. G, parking lot seal coating. Recommend approval of the Cooper's Blacktop seal coating proposal for $36,600 with project costs prepaid using permanent improvement funds. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions? This is basically coating what we didn't do last year, and also some asphalt repairs that are desperately needed at the entrance and along the front of the school. But other than that, any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. H, activity fee, recommend continuing the activity fee for the 2026-27 school year to offset Board of Education costs for salaries, benefits, and transportation. This fee will not affect other expenses associated with participating in these activities. This annual fee will be capped at $400 per family for athletics and $400 per family for co-curricular activities. Fees are as follows. A, high school extracurricular athletics, first and second season, $100. Third and thereafter, $50. B, middle school extracurricular athletics, first and second season, $90. Third season and thereafter, $45. C, high school co-curricular band, show choir, color guard, winter guard, first season and second season, $100. Third season and thereafter, $50. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. I, lunch prices. Recommend approval of meal prices for the 2026-27 school year. A, breakfast, all students, $1.70 full pay, 30 cents reduced pay, or free if qualified. B, lunch, K through 8, $3.20 full pay, 40 cents reduced pay, or free if qualified. 9 through 12, $3.40 full pay, 40 cents reduced pay, or free if qualified. Have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Kress?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. J, consent calendar. Recommend approval of all matters under the consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? For those who are remaining, this is where we approve. Huh? No.
No. This is where this softball coach would be approved.
This is where contracts are approved.
Oh, contracts are approved, that's right.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. 9, other authorizations, resolutions, etc. Milton-Union Library fiscal year 27 tax budget. To recommend adoption of the 2027 Milton-Union Public Library budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes. B, DARE program, memorandum of understanding, recommend approval to implement the DARE program beginning with the 2026-27 school year in cooperation with the Milton-Union Police Department. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second. I'd just like to say thanks to the Milton Police Department for offering this service and opportunity for the schools. I think it'll be good for them to have presence in the district and work with the kids. Add any additional educational common sense to the kids.
I think they're going to see how it goes and then maybe expand perhaps into middle school. Yeah, see how it goes.
Good. All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Mrs. Brumbaugh?
Yes.
Dr. Hinkleman? Abstain. Mr. Diaz?
Yes. Board member reports. A, legislative and student achievement. Linda, do you have anything to report tonight?
I do not.
B, policy update. Myself and Julianne, obviously we're going to be doing the first reading here shortly, but other than that, I have nothing else to report. Do you, Julianne?
Nope.
Building and transportation, myself and Justin. I think we are looking at maybe possibly some new bus drivers in the pipeline. Hopefully that will increase expand our pickup radius eventually, but we're knock on wood to be determined.
Yes, under promise, over deliver.
Correct.
So we are starting off still thinking 1.95 miles on the radius, but we have, it's not over till it's over, but we have 4 candidates right now. Not all of them are already certified bus drivers. Some would require, one I believe would require the training. So that's a long walk. But if that all happens, then that'll be really good for definitely. I think what the board had considered a goal for K-8, but maybe even chipping into 9th grade. So again, I don't want to fill you with hope here, but it looks really good right now. So
Having a 9th grader that I'm going to have to transport. Okay. Other building items, I spoke to Curtis and he said that the crew are working diligently to get the building ready for the start of the school year, so that's good.
When does school start?
the first day for staff is the 24th. Students start on Wednesday, the 26th. Open house is the evening of the 24th.
All right. DMVCTC Jim Albaugh, I didn't see any minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Milton-Union Education Foundation, Jess, do you have anything to report?
No update at this time.
You're in the summer slowdown.
Yes, thank goodness. June was a busy one.
F, Audit and Finance, Justin and Julianne, do you have anything to report?
Just that she changed earlier report to get that close to being flat on the year. It's pretty aggressive, honestly. So some of the reductions we made, even though we had reductions in some revenue, I mean, it was basically zero, like we balanced. I mean, when you were within 50 grand on 16.4 million, 16.7, it's pretty good. So.
Agreed. All right, G, facility complex, that's my committee. I don't have anything to report on that. Moving on, 11, information and discussion items, A, general information and updates. Do you have anything before Jess dives into her?
No.
Is she?
Okay, I just thought it would be really neat, any staff that work here at Milton, like, we could showcase them and showcase any skills that they have or, crafts that they enjoy doing. Just maybe a picture of them. I don't know, just to highlight some really good personnel things about it.
So just to clarify, you mean like, just to put something out on our live feed, social media, is that what you mean?
Yes.
We do this with new hires a lot, where we feature them and say, I think it's good to keep it, as Justin said, just to keep it fresh, keep people, get to know the staff, I mean, even down to the bus drivers.
Sure.
And, not to.
Not
diminish
just,
the bus
not
drivers,
just
but
teachers and admin, everybody. Anybody who works there.
I got you.
One teacher for elementary, one for.
It's just something simple, but maybe some fun facts that we wouldn't know about them to put on there.
And you didn't mean like to come to the board meeting and like, that's not what you meant.
Not recognized.
No.
I was gonna say, maybe we could start with Mr. Skiles, he'd be a really interesting one.
He's like, you could be our first kid.
Yeah, I see you, Ms. Atkins.
But I was thinking maybe the media class, that could be something that they could take over and organize that. Not necessarily.
But they can pick anyone. What I was asking was, is like just one for elementary and one for middle and one for high?
However, we want to showcase people.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it would be overseen through a teacher.
Do they interview staff members? Newspaper, the kids that are on the newspaper?
Yearbook.
Yearbook, whatever. I'm sorry.
It's been 100 years since we've had a newspaper.
Right.
It hasn't.
Yearbook.
That's a good one, you.
Well, we'll talk about how we can do it. That seems like a simple thing, a problem we should be able to solve. We'll talk about how we can do it, and who's responsible for it, how often it happens. And
Yeah. I just thought, I was like, it could be a really neat thing.
Yeah.
Any other information or discussion items? All right, moving on. DOE policy review, first reading. Board of Education policy 5771, search and seizure, and Board of Education policy 7440, facility security. And then 12 board announcements, upcoming meetings. Next board meeting, regular board meeting is Monday, August 17th, 2026, 6 p.m. in the board conference room unless otherwise moved. 13, executive session. Recommend approval to adjourn to executive session for purposes authorized under Board of Education Policy 0166 and ORC 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and compensation of an employee or official, and ORC 121.22G4, preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with employees, and ORC 121.22G5 for a matter required to be kept confidential by federal law or rules or state statutes. Invitees would be Dr. Ritchie, Cheyenne Sullivan, Katie, are you lucky?
I don't think we need Katie this evening. Unless the board would have a concern where Katie might be able to address.
I don't think so.
You're welcome.
Time entered into executive session 8:08 p.m. There'll be no action taken after we go into executive session. You're more than welcome to stick around until we adjourn. But do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mrs. Greenbaugh?
Yes.
Mr. Krebs?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz?
Yes.